Libra women are admired for their grace, charm, and effortless social ease. But those who really pay attention know there's more beneath the surface. Behind every smile is restraint. Behind every yes is a hesitation. They're the peacemakers, but at what cost to themselves? In this video, we're going to explore the emotional and psychological layers of the Libra woman, not just who she shows the world, but who she really is underneath it all. Chapter 1: The Social Mask: Why Libra Women Are Always Fine. The Libra woman is often the one you lean on, not the one you check on. She enters the room with a calm energy, smiles politely, makes everyone feel included, and rarely, if ever, talks about herself. If she's hurting, you probably won't know. If she's overwhelmed, you won't hear about it. She'll say, "I'm fine." And you'll believe her because she's made it her job to be fine for everyone. But this is the mask. The social mask Libra women wear so effortlessly that it starts to feel like their skin. They've learned early in life that keeping the peace often means sacrificing their own discomfort. Maybe it started in childhood, being the one who softened the arguments at home, or the one who learned that any expression of anger, sadness, or emotional messiness created disruption. And disruption was never safe, so they became the diplomats, the balancers, the soft spaces for others to land. What the world sees is someone who is agreeable, balanced, sweet, and always composed. What the world doesn't see is how much emotional labor she's performing, not just for others, but against herself. She doesn't just avoid conflict with people, she avoids conflict within herself. If something makes her uncomfortable, she'll suppress it. If someone hurts her, she'll rationalize it. If she's on the verge of emotional burnout, she'll push through it with a smile. But here's the truth: the longer she wears that mask, the more invisible her true self becomes, not just to others, but to herself. Being fine becomes a script she repeats until she forgets how to say anything else. And ironically, she often ends up surrounded by people who expect her to be the strong one, the calm one, the emotionally selfless one, when in reality she may be the most emotionally starved of them all. Chapter 2: The Mirror Effect: Libra's Identity Through Others. Libra women are ruled by Venus, the planet of love, beauty, and connection. But unlike Taurus, who seeks pleasure inwardly, Libra seeks balance through others. Her identity is often constructed through reflection, mirroring the needs, emotions, and expectations of those around her. At first, this makes her magnetic. She listens, she adapts, she becomes what others need without even realizing it. But the cost of this mirroring is fragmentation. She may find herself becoming 1,000 versions of herself: the perfect partner, the reasonable daughter, the diplomatic friend, and yet feeling empty inside. Not because she's fake, but because she rarely gives herself permission to exist outside of someone else's gaze. The question of who am I when no one is watching can feel terrifying. This is where the imbalance begins, because when she tries to claim her own identity, her anger, her messiness, her contradictions, she often fears rejection. Libra energy is harmony seeking, but when that harmony becomes avoidance, she betrays herself. She avoids conflict not because she's weak, but because she's terrified that conflict might lead to abandonment. So she sacrifices truth for peace. She downplays her needs. She bites her tongue, and the world praises her for being easy to love, while she quietly forgets how to love herself. But here's the deeper psychological truth: she does have rage. She does have power. She just hides it under layers of accommodation until one day it leaks out in passive resistance, withdrawal, or self erasure. And unless she begins to claim herself fully, unapologetically, she risks becoming a mirror with no reflection of her own. Chapter 3: The Smile as Armor, Aesthetic as a Defense Mechanism. For Libra women ruled by Venus, the planet of beauty, love, and harmony, aesthetics aren't just about style or taste. They're a form of protection. The carefully crafted smile, the poised posture, the graceful presence all become an armor designed to control how the world sees them. It's a way to keep things light, calm, and unthreatening, especially when their inner world feels anything but peaceful. This armor serves multiple purposes. First, it deflects unwanted attention from vulnerability. By appearing polished and composed, Libra women create a buffer that keeps deeper emotions at bay, preventing others from digging too deeply or asking uncomfortable questions. It's much safer to be admired for beauty and charm than to expose the messy complexities underneath. Second, this aesthetic shield helps Libra women maintain the peace they crave. In their desire to avoid conflict, the emphasis on looking put together becomes a nonverbal way to signal all is well, even when it's not. It's a silent promise that they won't disrupt the harmony, keeping others comfortable and distant from their true feelings. But here's the paradox: while the smile and appearance might keep others at ease, it can isolate Libra women from authentic connection. When so much energy goes into maintaining a flawless exterior, there's little left to nurture their own emotional needs. Um, the armor that protects can also imprison. Behind that radiant smile is often a well of unexpressed feelings, frustration, loneliness, and sometimes even rage. Yet, because their image is so carefully curated, these feelings remain hidden, buried beneath layers of charm and grace. Understanding this helps us see the Libra woman not just as the peacemaker or the beauty in the room, but as a deeply complex soul who longs to be seen and accepted, not just for her smile, but for all of who she is, messy parts and all. Chapter 4: What She Actually Needs But Doesn't Know How to Ask For. Behind the smile, behind the grace, lies a heart that quietly yearns, not for perfection, but for permission. Permission to be messy, to be loud, to be seen in all her contradictions. The Libra woman gives so much of herself to others that she often forgets to ask for what she truly needs. What she craves most is authentic connection, not the kind that demands constant harmony, but the kind that welcomes discomfort, disagreement, and raw honesty. She needs safe spaces where she can drop the act, reveal her fears, and be embraced without judgment. She also needs validation that her worth isn't conditional on being the peacekeeper or the charming diplomat. She longs to be valued simply for being herself, whole, imperfect, and human. This desire can feel unfamiliar, even frightening, because she spent so long building walls to keep rejection and conflict at bay. But healing begins the moment she allows herself to ask, am I allowed to take up space, to have needs, to be enough just as I am? When she starts to answer these questions with kindness, the smile becomes less of a mask and more of a genuine expression, a reflection of self love rather than self protection. Her journey is one from performance to presence, from invisibility to illumination. And when she embraces this, she finally steps out from behind the smile, radiant, real, and unapologetically herself. Thank you for joining me on this journey behind the smile to the hidden depths of the Libra woman. What we've uncovered is a story of grace, strength, and resilience, but also of silence, self sacrifice, and longing. If you are a Libra woman watching this, know that your worth isn't tied to how perfectly you maintain harmony or how charming you appear. You deserve space to be messy, to be real, and to be loved just as you are. To everyone watching, may this deeper understanding inspire more compassion for the Libra women in your life. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into astrology and emotional psychology.